Welcome back to another podcast episode of Hangin with Mr. Francis podcast. I am your host, Mr. Francis, and this is episode 29, Self-Investment. And before we get started, I just want to give our sponsor a quick shout out to Bold and Wonderful Digital Art Prints. They are a digital art dealer that sells digital art prints, which is strictly digital, and you download after you purchase the artwork, and you can have it sent to a print shop and have it printed for yourself or print it as a gift. They have some very cool designs, and they're a 5-star store through Etsy.com. Again, that's Bold and Wonderful Digital Art Prints. That's through Etsy.com, and you can get directly to their page by going to boldandwonderful.ca, and that's again boldandwonderful.ca. Bold and Wonderful Digital Art Prints. Check out their store online. They're our first and only sponsor for this podcast. Hopefully that will grow with numbers as time goes on. Now on to the episode. So this episode is called Self-Investment. This is episode 29. It will be a very quick and brief episode in this one. Struggled a bit to put together something to speak about or talk about. Have a long list of things I wanted to, but I wasn't feeling everything else. But this one in particular I wanted to touch on for a quick moment due to the fact that the year 2022 is winding down. So I am going to do a separate episode of a recap of this year, of things that I've accomplished and things I've learned, what I'm expecting to do going forward in the new year coming. But I just want to stick to this topic for a second here for this episode, self-investment. And I wanted to get real personal with this one. Not too personal, but the thing is, what I've gathered with the whole investing in yourself aspect of things is that you have to put 110%. You cannot wait on anyone. You can't depend on anyone. And you're going to come to learn that whatever you do, whether it's starting a business, doing a podcast, working on a project, or something that you want to fulfill. It might be something you want to do personally alone, but then it's like you don't know how to go about it because you may need some assistance here and there, and that's okay. You can seek assistance, but you have to invest in yourself because at the end of the day, no one else will. You got to make that first step, that first decision. And I may have covered this in previous episodes, but this one is strictly just trying to say, if you want something out of life and there's something that you want to attain and reach a goal, invest in yourself first, be consistent with it, have a plan, and execute. Because I'm going to be honest with you, not a lot of people are going to support you. Not many friends, not many family, if any, right? There are going to be maybe a handful of people that's going to support you. You have to support yourself. Maybe 2 hands full. I don't know. But I'm going to tell you right now, the amount of people that are going to support you can be counted on one hand or just both hands, period. And that's about it. This is what I've come to learn, is that you're not going to get the support you want because everyone has their own views. Everyone has their own life. No doubt. But it's crazy to me that you can start something, believe in yourself, but others won't believe in you. And that's entirely okay. And you know why it's okay? It's okay because you're the one that's going to be pulling your own weight to attain what you want to. And you have to invest the time and energy into perfecting your craft and whatever it is you do, and you got to make that investment worth your while because you're putting it all back into yourself. Focus on that, but also don't forget the ones that actually do care, and thank them for it. Thank them for giving you the opportunity to, or giving, I don't even know how to say it. I'm losing train of thought. Thank them for giving you the opportunity to show them that you believe in yourself, but you also thank them for believing in you, because that in turn allows you to believe and become more confident in yourself in doing things that you want to do. I'm sure I butchered that, I didn't say it right. But the point of this is that what I've learned this year is that, and as I said, I'm going to do a recap, but just a quick thing is that what I've learned is not only this year, but over the last couple years, I've ventured off into doing different things. And the one thing I've come to realize from those times till now is that I didn't put much investment in myself. I didn't put enough effort into teaching myself self-discipline. What's the other word? Confidence. Because confidence is not an easy thing to come by. You can get really discouraged very easily because you may not have the structure to push you forward. It's like, for example, starting a business is not easy. The reason is because you have to build structure. But in order to build that structure, you have to do trial and error. You got to try things, you break things, then you learn what you can do differently so that it doesn't break, and then something else breaks and you learn. And it's just a repetitive pattern that you have to continue doing because you're learning as you go along. Now, if you're an employee at a company that's been around for a long time, they've already have structures, so they can give you the tools you need to do what it is because it's already in place. But when you do it yourself, unfortunately, it's not going to be a walk in the park. And for some reason, there's this picture painted in this society that when you do things on your own, start a business or invest in yourself, that it's going to be a narrow path and you're going to go straight ahead and it's going to be perfect. Not entirely perfect, but you get what I'm trying to say. So the truth is it's a winding road. There's going to be a lot of curves, roadblocks. There's going to be a lot of trees, rocks that fall into that road that you got to figure out how to get around, get over it, and so forth. It's guaranteed, right? And sometimes these roadblocks are people who hate on you. Like I said earlier, you try and break something, you got to try it again and see what works, what doesn't work, and so forth. And sometimes, again, it can get very discouraging and you might want to give up right away. That's not investing in yourself. You have to keep pushing, right? If that doesn't work, what else can work differently? What can I do differently? And I'm making this episode so that if anyone hears this, I just want you to know, keep trying. Keep going. Don't get me wrong. There's days when the projects and things that I've started, especially this podcast, I wanted to stop. I wanted to give up. Or I just didn't feel the... Oh, man, I'm drawing blanks today. You just lose that... I can't even think of the word right now. It's weird. You just lose that drive, right? That adrenaline to keep going, and you fall off, and then you become inconsistent, and you can't really figure out what you want to do. And those things also will happen. This is the problem a lot of times nowadays, is that I've realized a lot of people want to attain so many things off the bat, and things can be attainable very easy, but if it comes easy, it can leave easy. But if you work hard at it, and when you reach that final destination, it's one of the sweetest things you can ever feel, that achievement. Like, oh man, if you look back, you see all these things that you've accomplished and all the ups and downs, and you don't really notice it when you're going through that whole storm of it. But then there's going to be that reflection moment where you're going to have a moment to just stand still. The dust is settled, everything is just at peace for that quick moment, and you look back and see how far you've come. And you don't want to give up after how far you've come. You want to keep going, and just bear with anything that comes your way, because it's going to happen. You're going to have a lot of ups and downs, a lot of downs more than ups. But when you reach the part where you can go up, don't don't look at it that I've made it. No, you got to keep pushing. But also don't forget to take breaks, because we tend to push ourselves and overwork ourselves, mental capacity that we can't even comprehend and realize until we crash. And that's never a good thing, but it will happen if you overwork yourself, because you want to attain greatness. You want to attain that goal. You want to crush your goals. You want to do anything and everything in your power to reach to the next level. But you're going to hit a brick wall, and you just have to reset and put more effort back into yourself, restructure yourself, and then just keep powering through. You have to, because that's the way self-investment works. You have to continue investing in yourself, whether that's cutting certain people off, whether that's doing certain things differently. If certain things or people don't add value to your life when you're trying to invest in yourself, then unfortunately you're going to have to cut all that BS off. You're going to have to push it to the back or get rid of it completely. Your happiness and your self-worth is worth more than anything else in your life. Just remember that. And I'm not preaching to the choir when I say this. I'm just saying it because I've been through it, and I'm continuing to go through it. Right now, I'm pushing through doing a lot of things that I want to do, because I see that it's going to work out in the end. Because if I be consistent at it, if I continue to work at it, something's going to come from it. But as long as you believe in you and you invest in you, the possibilities are endless. These are some words of encouragement from myself, Mr. Francis. And again, I appreciate you for tuning in to this episode of Hanging with Mr. Francis podcast. This was, again, episode 29. This is a very short one. I just wanted to throw this out there because sometimes we need to hear that little words of encouragement. And I sometimes listen to other podcasters or other influencers or anything like that, not to look at them and be like, damn, yeah, they made, no, because the ones that actually give you advice, and I've watched a few of them and they give it great advice, I admire those ones, because they put ego and their self to the side and give you the raw, uncut truth of what it is and what you go through completely. Because a lot of times we look at social media, we see the great side of things, but a lot of people don't share the struggles, right? How long and what it is that they had to struggle with, what they had to go through, what they had to push themselves through just to attain that end result. So I hope this reaches the ear of anyone who's listening. I continue to always want to do this because I know at one point I put myself in a situation where I listen to other influencers or podcasters who actually genuinely care about what it is they do in their craft, and they encourage me. So I hope by me doing this encouraged someone to get up and do something and invest in themselves and do it, and understand that it's not going to be perfect, but you just have to keep on pushing. You just have to keep on grinding. You just got to grind now, and then you'll shine later. But you just got to keep grinding no matter what. So again, I'm your host, Mr. Francis. Thank you for tuning in for episode 29, Self-Investment. I'll see you in the next episode.